Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be capping off the top 5 players at every position series with the top 5 centers of all time. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Starting with number 5, Hakeem Olajuwon. Now, on paper, Hakeem is the greatest defender of all time, but you have to keep in mind that the real greatest defenders of all time played in an era where blocks were not a recognized stat by the NBA. But not only was Hakeem a great defender, he was also a good rebounder and scorer as well, utilizing his iconic dream shake to work around defenders in the paint. At number 4, I have Shaquille O'Neal. Now, if this was a top 5 crybabies list of all time, then Shaq would certainly rank number 1. But it's not, so he's going to have to stay at the number 4 spot. Shaq is one of the most dominant players of all time, with the ability to bully anybody in the paint because of his size. The former MVP also won 4 rings and 3 finals MVPs. But to be completely honest, I don't think Shaq uses physical form to his full advantage. Now, had Shaq actually worked in the gym to further improve his game, then not only would he rank higher on this list that maybe 10 people will see, but he would also rank higher on the all-time list. But he didn't work as hard as he could, and he ended his career as a great scorer, but honestly only a good rebounder and shot blocker, never really being great in either category. At number 3, I have Bill Russell. Bill Russell holds the record for the most championships in her career with 11. But not only that, he's quite possibly the greatest defensive player of all time. I made up a video about the best defenders of all time, and I talked quite a bit about Bill Russell there. So if you want to hear my explanation for that, then I suggest you go watch that video. But although Bill Russell wasn't a really dominant scorer, his defense and rebounding ability put him over Shaq and Hakeem, in my opinion. At number 2, I have Wilt Chamberlain. Now, when it comes to raw skill level, I stand by Wilt being the greatest of all time. But if you factor in career accomplishments, I can't put him at the number 1 position. Wilt is, of course, one of, if not the most physically gifted players of all time, while being incredibly talented on both the offensive and defensive end. One of the most dominant scorers of all time, ranking 7th on the all-time scorer list and averaged upward of 8 blocks and 22 rebounds for his career. But Chamberlain was only able to win 2 rings in his entire career and failed to capitalize on the super team himself, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West, which is why I cannot rank him at number 1. But the guy who I can rank at number 1 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We all know that Kareem is the all-time leader for points in a career while utilizing his practically unblockable skyhook, but he's also one of the greatest defenders and rebounders of all time. Kareem was a 6-time champion, winning 5 with the great Magic Johnson and winning 2 finals MVPs. Kareem also, unsurprisingly, holds the record for the most regular season MVPs with six due to his dominance in practically every one of his seasons and not slowing down until the last couple of seasons of his career, where he ended his career averaging 10 points per game. So that's going to do it for this video. If you agreed with this list, I'd really appreciate if you like and subscribe. But if there's anything you would change about this list, then I would also appreciate if you commented your list for the top 5 best centers of all time. That's going to do it for the day. I appreciate you for watching, and have a great day.